Hello there, Carlos here, and welcome back to my channel, your sanctuary of applied mathematics, economics, and Wolfram Mathematica coding. Today, we are venturing into another cornerstone of calculus, the Quotient Rule of Differentiation, and of course, we'll dive into some Wolfram Mathematica code to grasp it in a more efficient way. The quotient rule stems elegantly from the other rules of calculus. It tells us that if you have a function that can be seen as the division of one function by another, let's call the one in the numerator g of x and the other one in the denominator h of x, then the derivative isn't a mystery. It's just the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator, all divided by the square of the denominator. That is g prime of x times h of x minus g of x times h prime of x, all divided by the square of h of x. If you want to learn how the quotient rule is derived from the other rules of calculus, skip to this part of the video. But for now, this is what we have, which we can understand pretty well, right?
The numbers, Messi. What do they mean? Where are they brought?
I don't know anything about any numbers.
Okay, fair enough. It can be tricky. So let's dive deeper with this example f of x to learn the quotient rule for once and for all. So tell me, how would you solve for f prime of x? Through the quotient rule, we first find the derivative of the numerator to get g prime of x and multiply it by the denominator h of x. Note that we need to use the chain rule, which we've already covered in a previous video, so if you feel this is new, make sure to go watch it. Then, we subtract the numerator g of x multiplied by the derivative of the denominator h prime of x, and we lastly divide all of this by the square of the denominator h of x. Remember to respect each term's respective constants and signs to avoid silly mistakes. Now, we can smoothly move these sign terms to the denominator of each fraction that we have right here. There you have it, the slope of the tangent at any point. So if you're faced with a function that divides one function by another and you need to find the derivative, remember, you've got this, use the quotient rule. But we are not done yet. Let's see what Wolfram Mathematica can do for us. To differentiate in Mathematica, simply type d, open a square bracket, type the function, add a comma, and then the variable we're differentiating against, typically x, close the square bracket, press shift and enter, and watch Mathematica do its thing. And there we have the derivative in no time, aligning perfectly with our quotient rule. Good old maths doing the trick yet again. Mathematica not only simplifies these processes, but also offers us a chance to visualize them. For instance, by using this button right here, we can plot the derivative of the function f prime of x to see how it changes with respect to x. First, we need to rephrase f of x into a multiplication of g of x by the reciprocal of h of x. That is 1 over h of x, which is the same thing as dividing g of x by h of x. But we can now apply the product rule to f of x by taking the derivative of g of x times the reciprocal of h of x and add g of x times the derivative of the reciprocal of h of x. Doing the latter might seem tedious at first glance, but we can interpret the reciprocal of h of x as h of x to the power of minus 1. And that is where the chain rule enters the chat, as it indicates that the derivative of the reciprocal of h of x is equal to minus h of x to the power of minus 2 times the derivative of h of x, which is also equal to minus h prime of x divided by the square of h of x. Going back to the product rule, we now have this expression consisting of two separate fractions, but we can join these fractions by multiplying both the numerator and denominator of the first fraction by h of x. Thus, we are left with the quotient rule. As simple as that. And that's it, my friends, the quotient rule of differentiation, unraveled and visualized. Remember, math is not just about reciting rules, it's about understanding and intuition. And with Wolfram Mathematica, we're making this understanding an exciting journey. one video at a time. So keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, stay curious, stay passionate. This is Carlos, signing off for Angulo Live. Make the most out of your day, folks. Peace.